Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. It is time for another edition of 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew, Meghan, Triplett, John Roser here, like always, to talk to you about the weekend that was. And Roser, the biggest thing for us to really talk about is the NBA playoffs, because we got the Western Conference semifinals that started on Sunday. And for the Grizzlies, they took on the Warriors. It was only a 36-hour time that they had from Game 6 against the Timberwolves on Friday night to get ready for the Warriors on Sunday. And look at this game. Grizzlies not able to take game 1 at FedEx Forum. They lost 117 to 116. But what's your stance on the Grizzlies' performance after game 1?
I thought the Grizzlies were great. I think there's things they can clean up, clearly. The second chance opportunities for Golden State. You would have thought the Grizzlies would have dominated the offensive glass because they've dominated the offensive glass all year, and especially with Golden State going so small the way they did it at a lot of times, and Draymond getting kicked out. So they've got things to clean up right there. But overall, I kind of thought, I tweeted this, I was like, that was a really fun game. And I think that probably about, I'm not saying everything's going to be a 1-point game and come down to the final shot, but like, I think you're going to see every game in the fourth quarter, it's going to be somebody's for the taking. I don't think you're going to see either one of these teams run away from the other. It's going to be a tightly contested series. Golden State did enough to get game 1. I think the Grizzlies will come back and get game 2, but I mean, get your heart rate ready, because this is what's going to be this series.
Yeah. And when you look at how the Warriors play, and you look at how the Grizzlies play, you just never know who's going to go off and when that person's going to go off. Because as you mentioned, when you think about the fourth quarter, for what the Grizzlies were able to do against the Timberwolves in the last round, fourth quarter was super important for this group. And for the fourth quarter for the Warriors to have a guy like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson knocking down threes and, getting some steals. And as you mentioned, things that we're not used to talking about is defense when it comes to the Warriors, or even like offensive rebounding. I think offensive rebounding, the rebounding battle is going to be key when it comes to game 2. Grizzlies are going to have to find a way to get back to that, like that bread and butter when it comes to points inside the paint. Winning the rebounding battle off the glass, especially against a Warriors group that does shoot a lot of threes and you're gonna have a lot of those longer rebounds. And for an offense that's always constantly moving, constantly going, people are always on their feet and running around the court, you're going to get those turnovers. But how are you going to capitalize off of them just a little bit more? I mean, yes, you forced 17 turnovers, scored 24 points off of it, but the Warriors were still able to get going. A lot of that has to do with even the depth and the bench play. Jordan Poole coming off the bench, going 12 of 20 from the field, 31 points. We didn't really have a guy to kind of match that intensity when it comes to Jordan Poole, and honestly, just their guard play in general. But how about a shout out to Jaren Jackson Jr.? Roser, yeah. I mean, it was great to see him get going. 33 points, 10 of 18 from the field, knocked down 6 threes in the game, had a double-double with 10 rebounds as well.
Well, yeah, no, I love Jaren. The talent, I get frustrated with Jaren at times, and I think it's more so because, and he gets frustrated with himself, but like, it's always out of, I know how good you can be. I know how good you can be when you put it all together, and he put everything together last night. You mentioned Jordan Poole. Another thing, the Grizzlies wings, Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bane combined to go 6 for 23 after Bane was so awesome in the Timberwolves series. And Dylan really had a great game 6, I believe, against Minnesota. Was he 5 of 6 from 3 or something like that? You need those two guys to play much better and shoot the ball much better from the perimeter, because I don't know if you're going to be able to count on Jaren going, 6 for whatever it was from 3 every game. So those guys are going to have to be better, Desmond and Dylan, going forward.
Brother, before we move on to the other game that came on, flagrant 2 foul on Draymond Green. Did you think it was a flagrant 2 and he should have been ejected?
No, I did not think he should have been.
I did not think it was.
I understand why when you watch the replay and you slow it down. I understand why, and some of that's reputation. A lot of it's reputation for Draymond, but I think a flagrant 2 foul has to be, to me, something malicious. Like you were trying to injure somebody. And I don't think Draymond was trying to hurt.
Yeah, I think in the report, like the excessive the throw down an airborne play. I think the words were kind of like, was it really like that? I thought it was definitely flagrant 1 foul. Flagrant 2, I didn't see that coming at all. I was shocked. Just clearly, Draymond Green was shocked as well. All right, let's talk about the other game that happened on Sunday. Over in the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Bucks took care of business against the Boston Celtics, winning 101 to 89. I mean, Roser, defensively, the Bucks group looked good.
Yeah, and this is one of those things. no Chris Middleton. And if Giannis is he can be the most dominant offensive player and the most dominant defensive player in the league. And if he has taken even another leap from where he was last year, he's the best player in basketball, and there's nobody close to him. If he truly has. Now, it's just game one, so you need to see it through the rest of the series. But I'm someone who picked Boston to win the championship. But that was an amazing performance from Milwaukee yesterday. And Giannis and Drew Holiday and the rest of those guys too deserve a ton of credit too. But Giannis, with all the love Jason Tatum's been getting, and I love Jason Tatum, with all the love Jason Tatum's been getting in these playoffs, Giannis kind of reminded everybody, I'm still here and I'm the best player in the world.
Right. And it's for Giannis, not the best shooting night. For me, that stood out to Giannis' performance. We talk about taking his game to a whole nother level is his ability to find guys and to assist number, like to get 12 assists, a triple double, 24 points, 13 rebounds. It's the assist game for me, especially when he's not 9 of 25 from the field. He wasn't shooting great. So he's like, if I'm not going to, if today's not going to be my day shooting wise, I'm going to make sure that I get guys open and finding the guys and being that facilitator. That's what impressed me the most. And then
that's what I mean, taking his game to another level. That's not something you've seen. He'll get his high assist numbers because he drives and the defense has to converge. But like him catching the ball in a spot, seeing a double team and passing out of that's something that's like a totally different level for his game. And if he's going to be doing that, there's nothing you can do with that guy.
I think game 2 will be interesting because I think Celtics will have a better shooting night, but the defense wise to make sure that they stay out of the paint and to allow the Celtics to honestly have to rely on the 3-point shot. They attempted 53s in that game, went 18 of 50, but they had nothing else going for themselves. I think Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown will find a way to get going, but really, really impressive performance after game 1. We'll see what happens with game 2. Now, the NBA playoffs will continue Monday night. You got 2 more games coming up tonight. You also will have Dallas taking on the Phoenix Suns. And over the Eastern Conference semifinals, Miami Heat will take on the Sixers. And big news for the Sixers is no Joel Embiid for game 1 and probably for game 2. But what's your prediction for tonight's games?
I would think Miami will win without Joel Embiid. I think Miami would win, and I think Miami wins pretty easily. The Dallas-Phoenix series is interesting. Okay. The Dallas team is tough. The Dallas team is really tough. Devin Booker is back, but is he 100%? And I think they're going to need him. But then again, is Luka 100%? Luka seems to be fine, though. But I would think I'm not going to be surprised. I think Dallas is going to get game 1 tonight.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. I think
Miami's going to roll Philly. Even if Embiid's there, I think Miami rolls Philly in 5.
Or in general, I think Miami's definitely going to win tonight. I think, as you mentioned, no Joel Embiid. James Harden's a lot of pressure on him. A lot's going to be riding on him, and I don't know if James Harden's going to be that guy. But I think I have to go with Phoenix because it's really hard to not go with Phoenix. And I agree with you. Dallas is a tough team. It feels as if when you watch them, at some point they have moments where they're going to run out of gas. I think Utah was just an easy game because Utah has so many other problems off the court. But I think with Phoenix, they just seem like a very, very complete team. Devin Booker, I don't think he's fully healthy, but I do think it's going to be a game where defense is going to be key. And you're going to need Chris Paul to be Chris Paul. Maybe not go 14-14, but still be that guy. And Mikal Bridges, the guy, I just could watch him play basketball. I would just love to watch him play basketball even more. So I got the Suns tonight, and I definitely got the Heat as well. But we're going to be without Kyle Lowry, and questionable is Tyler Hero and Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler's going to play, but I think the Heat will be fine tonight.
I think the Heat are going to be fine tonight too. I think the Heat are going to be fine for the series.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. So much action. I'm enjoying it. Rose, like always, I appreciate the time. We'll see you next week.